I implore Councillor Mavunda to reconsider. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much,
Speaker. Can I ask for protection, Speaker? I'm humbling myself.
Let me respond, councillors.
Can I ask for protection, Speaker?
Yes, Councillor Mavunda, on what?
Speaker, there are rules in everything that we do. I'm rising on the point in terms of what the rules are. The Secretariat should assist you, Speaker. Secondly, you are the Speaker of the Council. It's you who is supposed to be kicking out my suggestion if you think it is unprocedural, not the other council. I respect to Councillor Marshall. He also knows that. I always find it difficult to disagree with him. But in this case, Speaker, it is you who's supposed to rule on that. You don't need the Deputy Speaker. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, thank you, councillors. I don't see anything wrong, Councillor Mavunda said by Councillor Madlala, because you made a submission, then he came with a different view of which it is within your right as councillors to have views and express them in a meeting constructively. Yes, it is true that the point raised, the Speaker have to summarize and respond all the point raised. In terms of our visual meeting, Councillor Mavunda and other councillors, yes, the Secretariat, it is involved in verifying and assisting the Speaker to confirm whether council correct or not. We have doing that from the beginning of our term, and we have never experienced any problem. Once the whips of parties confirm the numbers on a visual platform, the Secretariat updates those numbers as per the report from parties. Update them on the screen so that you can be able to see, and the members of the public will see how many councillors are present from each political party. Then a quorum will be added. Then the Speaker will be advised by the Secretariat that, yes, the meeting does correct. We have doing that, Councillor Mavunda, for almost a year, and we have never experienced any problem. Even today, this meeting is run according to the rules, because the Secretariat, together with whips of parties who are confirming numbers, they are recorded, verified, then submitted to the Speaker. Thank you very much, councillors. Let's proceed without wasting
point of order, Speaker.
Any time.
Point of order, Speaker.
Yes.
Speaker, I rise on in terms of the guidelines for virtual meetings, Speaker.
Right.
Where under 7 decisions by voting, that is something else. The Secretariat will then confirm the total number of councillors participating from the political party. Yes, the whips have a right to give us a number, but has the Secretariat confirmed those numbers? That is the question we are asking. The other one, Speaker, when I raised my point of order earlier, you told me that we're coming to it under leave of absence. The question I'm now asking is that councillors that have not submitted a leave of absence are currently not in the meeting. Are you then disallowing them from coming to this meeting later on or not? Thank you, Speaker.
Councillors that, councillors that are not, sorry, apologies, councillors who are not part of the meeting now, those councillors can't participate in the meeting. As we have confirmed numbers from parties, those are the numbers that we have currently. Therefore, the council correct based on the updated numbers submitted by whips of parties. Councillors, we have taken
Speaker, on my point of order.
Yes, now I've given you sufficient time to raise the issues.
On my point of order, Speaker.
Then I've responded to all the issues. I'm no longer prepared to give you more time.
We are busy entertaining. I'm an individual, then my interest is out.
Councillors will now receive the Speaker's report to Council. This report, councillors, is on activities that the council has undertaken over the month of January
Speaker, point of
in
order,
line
Speaker.
with the provision of the rules of order bylaws. The
Speaker,
status
point
of
of order,
committee
Speaker.
engagement and ward committee meetings
Speaker, point of order, Speaker.
held over the month of January 2023, the membership
Speaker, point
status
of order,
the
Speaker.
municipal council. The beginning of this month, January 23, we saw the end of the festive season, with the municipal council also having been on leave from the 15th of December to 13 January 2023.
No.
Not too many
suppressing
activities were undertaken by council. It is pleasing to report to council that the municipality hosted a very successful 22 festive season. That attracted the number of tourists. It was also pleasing to note the number of different events hosted in our home city, from sports such as rugby and soccer that were the first time held at last day of the year on the 31st December 2022. And other entertainment-related events. It was indeed a busy, successful festive that generated positive spin-off for the city. The council appreciates the officials that work tirelessly during the festive season to ensure that our city lived to its motto of being the warmest city, and also members of council are appreciated for being there for communities to respond to emergencies withstanding the recess period. Council will note that although during the month of January 22, Council was on recess, and there are reports currently submitted to the Office of the Speaker in terms of community engagement held. It will be noted that there are some councillors who did have the stakeholder engagement within their respective wards. The recess period being over, councillors are reminded of the quarterly complaints in terms of the code of conduct to resume holding and reporting on the community engagement held as required. This was also raised at the last Speaker and Party Whips meeting that was on the 23rd of January 2023, where whips were reminded to urge respective party members to comply with this above mentioned requirement. Since in the previous calendar year, reporting was not good at all. Council members are also to note that as part of the statutory requirement, in the month of February 2023, there will be a public participation engagement held with respected stakeholders on the annual report. This engagement will be advertised, and councillors are urged to encourage community members and stakeholders to attend as per the publicized notices. Ward committees also have been on recess in line with the rules regulating the establishment and the operation of ward committees. There is not many activities recorded during the month. It will, however, be noted that there are ward committees that require the Speaker's intervention. Such engagement have been scheduled, and the ward councillors for those respective wards will be advised accordingly. On the membership status of our council, on Wednesday, the 14th December 2022, the Independent Electoral Commission held a by-election within the province and within our municipality. Ward 99, Ward 99 had a vacancy before this date. The vacancy in Ward 99 was filled by Councillor J. Naidu, who was the IFP party PR councillor. Siyafisa ukumbongela kakhulu uCouncillor for being elected as a ward councillor in Ward 99 Congratulations, Councillor Jane Naidu. With the election of Councillor Naidu as the ward councillor, a PR councillor within the IFP, a PR councillor within the IFP was, a PR vacancy was created after Councillor Jane was elected as the ward councillor. Then the vacancy has been filled by Councillor Selvin Governor, who was declared by the IEC on the 23rd of January 2023. We welcome you, Councillor Governor, in the EThekwini Municipal Council. The municipality, the municipal council currently has no membership vacancy. All 222 members have been elected accordingly. It will, however, be noted that 2 office bearers vacancies, namely the deputy mayor and the whip of council, still exist, and it will be filled on a special council meeting scheduled for Friday, the 3rd of February 2023 at 2 o'clock at ICC. This is the meeting that was cancelled last week on Thursday. Thank you very much, councillors. We now, councillors, move to the minutes. I won't read page by page to save time. I assume that we have checked the minutes. We have checked the minutes. I will move, but if there are any correction that you might want to do on the minutes, you will do those corrections. Councillors, we have the 2 set of minutes is for the meeting that was on the 13th December 2020. And this was in committee meeting. Oh, thank you, councillors. I'm being reminded here by the head legal that I was supposed to deal with the item of the declaration of interest before I move to the minutes. Do we have any councillor want to declare interest, councillors? May I get an indication? It looked like there's none. Councillors, let's move straight to the minutes of the meeting that was on the 13th December 2022. I said that I won't read page by page, but councillors, you will just indicate if there are corrections. Just tell us the page and the paragraph where you want to make those corrections. Any hands for corrections? There are no hands. Councillor from the Freedom Front Plus, your hand is up for corrections. Give us the page and the paragraph.
Mr. Speaker, it will be item 1.1. Just want to get to it as well.
On page 1.1 is on page.
For the Finance and Security Committee meeting, it was page 20.
Can you give us a page so that councillors will follow?
Sorry, Speaker, I seem to have lost the page right now.
Because the main,
regarding
the main 1.1.
Finance.
Yes, councillor, may proceed with the corrections.
It's just about the lending that the Freedom Front wants to express their concern about lending the 1.5 billion.
Are you doing a correction or just raising a new matter? We are dealing with corrections. If there's something that is not correct captured in the minute, that's what we're doing now.
I'll come back to you, Speaker, just a minute.
Thank you very much. Councillors, any corrections? Councillor Madlala?
Honorable Speaker, we want to move for the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you. There are no corrections. We have a mover of the minutes. Any seconder?
Seconded, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Minutes have been moved and seconded. Thank you very much. Other minutes, we'll deal with those minutes in the in-committee meeting, not now because there were minutes of the in-committee. Councillors, our next item is an urgent notice of motion that has been submitted to the Speaker of Council according to the rules submitted by Councillor Said.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Point of order.
Yes. Yes, you can address. Point of order.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to request of you and your office to indicate the number of words used in this motion. I raise this because my own calculation of the number of words exceeds 150. On a number of occasions, I've submitted motions and it was turned down because of the number of words used. I want your office to confirm that the number of words in the actual motion is less than 150, including the caption of the motion. And here I draw your attention to a subsection, I think it's 9, which relates to procedures in respect of a motion. So if I could get confirmation of that, Mr. Speaker, and if that is in order, then I think the meeting can proceed.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor Reddy. Yes, I can confirm that we received the motion, and the motion was checked whether it comply with all the rules of council. Then, as I was confirming that the motion is in compliance with the rules, and then it was presented to the whip of parties as the rule dictates. But today we are tabling the urgent notice of motion from Councillor.
Mr. Speaker, you have not answered my question. Let's not sound, we little children here. Answer my question. How many words is in that motion? How many words?
Yes.
No.
Must confirm. My answer is very simple, Councillor Reid. For the fact that I'm on record in council saying the motion and the motivation meet the requirement in terms of the rules. It means everything. You might ask about the motion. The motion is
answer my question, Mr. Speaker. It's a direct question. How many words
the motion has been
accepted? Your eagerness to put this motion on the agenda is becoming evident. No. Let's follow the rules.
Point of order, Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Speaker. Point of order, Speaker.
No, I'm not taking point of order. I will now request Councillor Said whether to confirm whether you are part of the meeting or not.
Point of order, Speaker.
Are you present?
Yes.
Samlong.
Yes, Speaker, I am.
Samlong.
Thank you.
Speaker.
My concern, Samlong.
Yes, raise your concern.
Speaker.
My concern is, are we on the agenda? Ngibona ukuthi khona igaba ozeqala agenda. Angazi noma uyaphuthuma yini.
No. Currently, after dealing with the minutes, we are now dealing with the urgent motion. Then we'll deal with reports after.
Ukuthi Samlong angibonanga la ukhuluma ngalokho zana. Noma nginenye agenda engekuyona ngibone lapha i-declaration of interest matters arising angizange ngikhumbule leyo ikhuluma.
No, on the declaration of interest is siyenzile babugwala. Correct ukuthi kuma matters arising azange siyenze ngoba nakhona mokho umuntu oyirezile, but if you are correct, we should have asked council members if there are any matters arising on the minutes after they were moved and adopted. You are correct on that one, I agree with you. But on the declaration of interest, that item was covered. Thanks, Councillor Gwala. Let's do that, councillors, quickly.
Speaker, Councillor Mngwango.
Let me deal with this item by Kuala first, then I will come to you, Babu Mngwango. Councillors, is there anyone who have a matter to raise? 1 minute? Just to confirm? There's none. Thank you. Babu Mngwango?
Speaker, Councillor van Rust.
Mngwango?
Yeah, thanks, Honourable Speaker. My point of order, Speaker, is that I would like to have legal assisting us on this issue before Councillor said respond to your question whether he tabled a motion or not. My reservation, our reservation, is that this meeting, firstly, is a visual meeting, and two, we already discussed the issue that is impractical, as said by the ANC, to verify those attending the meeting. So if it's impractical, now in relation to Speaker, the ruling, the court's ruling, Constitutional Court ruling of 2017 against UDM versus Speaker of Parliament, it was made clear that the vote in such a matter should allow a public representative to vote with conscience. Now, the rules that we are using for visual meetings are detecting that one person will confirm a block vote, which means a whip will confirm a block vote per party. Now, which then goes against the spirit of that Constitutional Court. So we want to put on record, Speaker, that we can't support such to be done this platform.
Just a minute, Babu Mngwango. Babu Mngwango, what we are raising is correct, but let's be procedural. After Councillor Said has confirmed that he's present, I have to ask whether the urgent motion submitted, circulated to all of you, is supported or not. Then, if the motion, there are people who are saying they don't support the motion, I will then allow Councillor Said to present the motion. That way, Councillor Mngwango, you might come and raise your issues, then Council will decide.
But Speaker, it's a point of debate you're talking about. For me, it's an issue of procedure.
That's what I'm saying.
Because procedurally, Speaker, let me just finish, Speaker. The issue, Speaker, is this. I'm questioning the issue of a procedure. Because if anyone will take this matter for review, you won't review a debate, you review the procedure. So I'm just putting to you that there's a possibility of this matter being go to court for review. Now, you can't review a debate. You're asking me to go and debate. I'm saying to you, the issue of a procedure is a concern here. And can you confirm then that after a debate, you will allow members to vote as individual, not as those, you will be going against the rules. I just went through the rules. The rules are saying one councillor should vote on behalf of the entire caucus. Now, that goes against the Constitutional Court that made a ruling on such votes.
I'm not suppressing you. I'm saying the point of order. The point you are raising, those points are more relevant to be raised after the motion has been tabled. Then you can raise those those points. Then legal will be allowed to respond. I'm with you, Councillor Mngwango. I'm with you. Those points you have raised. But let's table the motion, then Councillor Mngwango will then get the answer. Who's that?
Point of order.
Yes, Umthetho. Umthetho.
Okay, there's some background noise, Speaker, somewhere. Okay.
Apologies.
I think you've got this thing all wrong, Mr. Speaker.
You're right.
But what Councillor Mngwango is raising, as he carefully put it, he is raising the issue of procedure.
Okay.
You'd recall that some of us wrote to you requesting that because there is such an important matter, can you make sure that this meeting is in person? Or if you don't have a venue or your logistics don't allow you, then postpone this meeting until such time that you secure a venue. But you can't then say a motion must be presented, and during the debate, if it is not supported by everyone, during the debate, people must raise issues of procedure. For instance, right now, you and your secretariat rely on the numbers that you were given by party whips. None of you can verify who is actually here and who is not here. That is the point we were raising when we wrote to you 2 times to say, can you please consider, because we are raising the issue because there's this important motion on the table. Can you please consider having this meeting in person so that you don't have this issue of questionable numbers? We've got a history here, especially from the ANC, where they inflate their numbers, even during in-person meetings. How much so in a virtual meeting? So please.
Thank you, Councillor Mwango. Councillor Mchetwa. The motion, Councillors, order, Councillors, order. The motion has been submitted to me by Councillor Said. Now, the matter was going to be handled. Councillor Said was going to be given an opportunity as the author of the motion.
You are out of order, Speaker.
To present it. Then, if councillors have views, those views, Speaker would have listened to those views. But nevertheless, so that I avoid a debate between the Speaker and you councillors, I will ask Councillor Mr. Mhlongo to respond to the points and the questions raised about the correctness of the platform we are using. But maybe if councillors taken my advice, all the proposals that are being made before the motion is being tabled, those proposals would have been entertained and council decide whether to postpone the meeting or not, based on the argument advanced in council. Over to you, Njomane.
Point of order.
Let's get No, councillors, you requested legal to comment. Let's allow legal to speak.
Get advice, seek advice, hear the points of order, please.
I have a point of order, Speaker.
Let's get the answers from legal aspect, the questions raised by Councillor Mwango and other councillors. I will take your hands. I will take your hands after.
You got to hear the points of order. You're breaking your own rules.
Perhaps, if you allow us to give this one point of order, legal can also comment on this one, Chair.
No. I've taken sufficient hands, lot of points raised. Legal must respond. I will come back and take your hands. Legal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Babu Speaker. I note what Councillor Mwango is saying about the UDM matter. We are all familiar with that case, and it was dealing with the rules that are applicable to the National Assembly. He will also be mindful of the fact that we use different sets of rules, and how our rules come about is we have a constitutional right to create our rules that govern our processes as local government, which is not the case with national and provincial government. So our rules have never been put to the test of constitutional scrutiny. So I think we should apply our legal principles to identical situations and not pull in a principle that emanated from a different set of applicable prescripts and try to fit it in a different one. Having said that, the rules that are applicable to us, which are the rules of order, determine that it's the Speaker that has a right to decide whether to allow an urgent motion or not. And in this instance, the Speaker has decided to exercise his discretion in favor of allowing the notice of motion to be tabled. And you will also recall that we have had the issue of the urgent notice of motion a few weeks ago, towards the end of last year. And there were issues that were raised by Councillor Mwango, which I responded to and advised that once the matter has been put and is open for debate, it is open to all the councillors to raise any procedural motions that they feel strongly about. One of the issues that has been raised by Councillor Mthethwa about the appropriateness of this forum or this form of meeting should be issues that are competent to be raised as procedural issues. And if councillors feel that it's not the appropriate forum and they need maybe to postpone the debate of this matter to a different forum, that is also competent to be used under Rule 20. So it cannot be that before the matter is tabled because the speaker has allowed it, then there could be a debate about the procedural issues pertaining to that notice of motion. As far as comments about taking matters on review, I think we are competent enough as the legal department of the municipality to deal with those as they come. Thank you, Speaker.
Njomane, for guiding the meeting. Councillors, let's do this so that we are procedural.
As a follow-up, Mr. Speaker, a follow-up.
Let's do, no. I don't want us to start a new trend of engaging the legal opinion. Let's do this, councillors. Councillor Said, you have confirmed we are here. Councillors, I have to ask whether is the urgent motion supported.
Chairperson, with due respect. Chairperson, with due respect.
Speaker.
With due respect.
Speaker, there was a point of order, Speaker.
You will give us an opportunity to
okay.
speak.
No, yes, you're correct, Councillor. You're correct, Councillor Isop. My apologies.
It's Councillor Annapin. Councillor Annapin.
No, it's correct. You're correct. Apologies. You're correct. I made that commitment. Thank you, Councillor Annapin. Then Mthethwa Mavunde Nkwala.
Thank you, Chairperson. I want to pick up on where Councillor Viswan Reddy had stopped. He made a very pertinent point, and it deals with the rules of order, which legal actually made reference to in a few minutes ago. Section 19, subsection C. It refers to disallowed motions, and it says a motion will be disallowed, or a speaker must disallow a notice of motion that is longer than 150 words.
150 words.
150 words, yes. Or contains unnecessary, factually incorrect, incriminating, disparaging, improper suggestions. Now, Councillor Reddy posed a very pertinent question. Is the number, he didn't ask whether it's competent or not, he asked whether the number of words are 150. That's the first thing. If this matter is taken before a court of law, I put it to this House that it will have ramifications on the previous motion that was put to this House, that was carried, which called for the removal of the Deputy Mayor. Because it is very clear that this motion and the motion that came before it are in the similar format. So it seems as though we are putting this motion forward today to not as to undo the the urgent motion for the last month, and also we're putting it at a time when we cannot accurately determine the number of votes, which will be which would tantamount to abuse of power, because if this motion is not carried today, this motion cannot come back to council for another 3 months. So I would like legal to please tell us whether, in terms of the number of words in this motion, specific to that, whether this motion can be put before this council. Secondly, Chair, legal said that our council is run by the terms of a rules of order bylaw. In this case, rules of order bylaw 2014. These rules of order do not supersede the Municipal Structures Act and national legislation. These are guidelines. So when he says that, it's not been put to the constitutional test, we can easily do that. Finally, Chairperson, I do believe that by your own, or rather not your own admission, but by the admission of several councillors in the ruling party, it is impossible, virtually impossible, pardon the pun, virtually impossible, to determine the correct number of members who are here, and thereby it is impossible to correct the correct number of votes that will come, particularly for this motion. Therefore, Chair, I would strongly suggest that you reconsider the decision to put this motion before the House today.
Okay, thank you very much, Councillor Nepen. Councillor Mtetwa.
No, Chair, look, I don't want to waste your time. I think we've been here long enough and we haven't started the serious business of this council.
Thank you.
And the day is not in the business of grandstanding. We actually were not entertaining the legalities around the motion. What we're sort of raising is the practicality and fairness, obviously thinking that you, as the custodian of the process of this council, would take into account that no process of this council should be questioned in a way that, as I said earlier, you know your secretariat team, none of you can verify who is here and who is not here. In that event, looking at us dealing with such an important motion, it would then be questionable whether we were doing the right thing considering such a motion in the virtual platform. But if you proceed with the fact that we must proceed here, we'll respect your decision. We're just hoping that as the custodian of the rules and the custodians of the...
I counted the words. It's 163.
Order, Mtetwa.
No, thank you, Chair. I'm done.
Yeah, councillors, already there is a proposal while the motion have not been formally tabled to council and procedurally allow councillors to engage. But I can see that councillors, they don't want even to take an advice from the legal, which suggests that procedurally, all the points we are raising, we are correct. But we are raising those points outside the matter that we have to deal with. The motion have not been tabled. All what we are saying should have been entertained after the motion has been tabled. There is a proposal supported by many that this item should not be dealt with in today's meeting. A meeting be arranged where it will be physical, where this matter will be tabled, debated, and council take a decision. There is a proposal that is being submitted to council. I have to ask whether are there any councillors who support or second that proposal and decide whether the item be moved from today's agenda and the meeting be arranged at a particular time to deal with the matter.
Seconded by Councillor Annepen, seconded.
Mr. Speaker.
Right, there is a order. The proposal from Councillor Annepen has been seconded by the ACDP. Let me check, councillors. Is there any councillor who is in disagreement with the proposal supported that the matter be removed from the today's agenda and arrange a physical meeting to deal with this matter? Any councillors who have a contrary view?
As a matter of correction, it was not the ACDP that seconded it. So please, can I ask you to amend your statement and correct it? Thank you.
Anyone with a contrary view?
Add seconds. Thank you.
ATEC seconded. Thank you very much. No one who's not in support. I just want to see and record whether council agreed that the matter be taken out of the agenda and the speaker convene a meeting within a reasonable time for this item to be dealt with in a physical meeting.
Agreed.
Well, agrees.
There's a hand from Councillor Madala and Councillor Ismail. Councillor Madala?
No, thank you very much, Speaker. Having exhausted the part where, as you have allowed the meeting to vote and to deal with how the matter of the motion is going to be dealt with in the next meeting, I want to apologize, Speaker, that I'm going to take you back on a matter of procedure. I'm actually rising on Rule 19, Speaker, which was raised by, I think, it was Councillor Visven before, around the issue of the fitness of the motion itself. I think since the matter was raised, Honorable Speaker, it needs to be dealt with in the meeting. I didn't want to cloud your decision in terms of how, if the motion is fit, is going to be dealt with. But I think we need to go back to that. Rule 19, as it was read out, 19C, which talks about disallowed motions, says the Speaker must disallow a motion that is rules C.
Point of order, Speaker.
Is longer than 150 words and contains unnecessary, factual, incorrect, incriminating, disparaging, and improper suggestions. We want to give you.
There's a point of order. Who's that?
Mavundla.
Raise the point of order.
I'm raising the point of order on the following. We're being misled. In terms of the rule, we've got urgent motion, which has got its own section that deal with it. And then we have an ordinary meeting. Honorable Councillor Madlala is taking us to the ordinary meeting, a motion which limits you to a maximum of 150.
Councillors, let's not waste time. With due respect, Councillor Madlala. With due respect, councillors. Councillor Mavundla, we can't hear you well.
Speaker, point of order, Speaker.
No. Councillor Mavundla, you are not audible enough. Councillor Madlala, you were on the floor. I allowed you to speak, but the point you are advancing, I want to make an appeal to you to allow council to proceed with its business. All the issues that being raised, as there's been a proposal, seconded that the matter be removed from the agenda. I don't want to allow council to discuss a matter already which council have agreed to take it out from its agenda. We are wasting council time. Is an appeal because already there's a council decision to remove this item here to a proper date where the matter will be discussed. Let's move
Speaker,
on.
point of order,
Thank you.
Point of order, Speaker.
On what now?
Speaker, the point of order comes to a very simple thing. This is an urgent motion which does not prescribe to an ordinary motion which allows...
No, Councillor Said, no. We've
Thank you,
concluded.
Speaker.
No, the matter now has been concluded. Thank you very much. Councillors, we'll now move to questions. We have a question that we have received. There are 4. I hope answers are ready. Then let's start with the first questions. The first answers on the agenda. I hope answers are ready.
Point of order, Speaker, on you. Speaker, point of order.
Yes.
Yes. Speaker, I'm not too sure whether it's fair in a democratical country whereby we have a right to voice esikuvoisayo noma esikukhiphayo noma imbono yethu whereby kuzokhuluma ubaba umthetho akukhuluma abanye abantu then ungaconfirm kuthina sonke ukuthi siyavuma yini ukuthi iagenda leyo iremove kuma items. Then ulalela umthetho walalela mhlambe ngithi nomnqwangu, then the entire council awakawuyizwa umbono wawo ukuthi uthini. So I think kwamanye ama issues we need to vote for it ukuthi siyavuma yini ukuthi items ikhiphe then museke we accept that.
Yeah, ngiyahlonipha nje nababomnikazi ngokuvumela ukukhuluma. Amanye ama council akulalele ayakubona ukuthi out of order. Ngoba after kube ne proposal ephakanyisiwe uCouncilor Anipen ngibuzile seconder yasekhendwa ubaba weADEC already ngabe sengena ukhona yena umuntu ophikisanayo nale proposal wangabikho sadlula.
Okay, thanks baba kusho angizwanga ngiyaxolisa Mr Speaker.
Yeah, thank you very much. Apology accepted.
Thank you.
We are dealing with questions, councillors. The first question is on page 5. Can we get a response on the questions on page 5, councillors? Remember the rule only 5 minutes allocated to answer questions. Let's get the answers. Page 5. Page 5, answers.
Speaker.
Yes.
Is Councillor Sokabas?
Please provide the answers.
Okay, thanks. On question 1, the issue of alternate security measures has been acknowledged by health units. Thus, the act while had a health requested that an assessment be undertaken to guide the unit in this regards. Regarding proposed security system, the unit has currently adopted the method of private security guards development and alarms installation only in some facilities. Following the health unit requested to security management released the report of alternate security methods inclusive of cameras. It must be stated that this report was received when the country was hit by calamities like the COVID-19 pandemic and the April floods, which negatively affected many processes, including this one. After COVID regulations were relaxed, and many processes returned to nearly normal, the unit revisited the security arrangement matters, and it was clear that additional resources was needed to implement that various security arrangement option. This happened during the recovery periods where the city was faced with financial constraint, necessitating budget cuts and reprioritization of available units funds. This was also compounded by the fact that at that time, the contract to get such devices installation was not yet finalized in the city. Thus, the unit could not implement any plans then and had to stick with current security arrangement to secure municipality assets. The unit, however, does recognize that value of alternate security system arrangement and is looking into incorporating such in the ensuing financial years within limited available resources and remain dependent on private security guards and alarm system as a means of security. Number 2, the health unit is serviced by 2 security companies dependent on regional deployments. In the previous financial year, the unit spent 33,466,411 rands for security in health premises and service points. The third one, after every security breach incident, the unit engaged security management to undertake post-incident assessment, and they advise the unit accordingly. The unit has also consistently demands that the security company pays for the loss suffered. Furthermore, in instance where there is suspicious of internal breaches, the health units refer such matters to CIIU to assist in thorough investigation that can be utilized in disciplinary processes. The fourth one about Ottawa Clinic is currently not in a state of dilapidation as alluded above. This facility formed the part of the previous 10-year plan to reach ideal clinic status, and it therefore one of the clinics that is reached platinum status in the ideal clinic assessment in August 2022.
Councillor Sokabasa, your 5 minutes is up. I will then request that you forward those responses to Councillor Maharaj. No, it's not Maharaj, the author of the motion. All the responses be forwarded to Councillor Mia in writing as per the decision of council. Thank you very much. Responses on page number 7. Page 7. Remember that you are only given 5 minutes. Try to be fast as much as you can in presenting your responses. 5. Hello, who's that?
It's Councillor Mia.
Councillor Mia?
Yes, I appreciate the answers from the colleague, even though she did not finish. However, there are some questions with regard to DSW and Depot. They were incorporated into this question. I did not receive any of those answers. Thank you.
Yeah, because we council allocate 5 minutes only to those councillors who are responding on questions. If that 5 minute lapse, then council requested that a councillor who is responding on the questions submit those questions in writing to the author of the questions. You will get those answers from Councillor Zamaso Kabasa in writing, including those questions that have not been attended to or addressed in this council. Thank you. Page 7, answers.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you.
Are you answering on page 7?
Yeah, we have a speaker.
Yes. Proceed.
Because we have 11 questions, Speaker, I'm not going to read questions. I will just go straight to the answer.
To save
so
time,
that I will make sure that I cover all 5 minutes that is given to me. Question 1, 2018 it was 30,022,000 rand. 2019, 39,161,000. 2020, 17,719,000. 2021, 3,332,000. 2022, 9,104,000. Second question, 2018, 1,016,000. 2019, 592,000. 2020, 3,108,000. 2021, 390,000. 2022, it's 80,000. Question 3, shop rental in 2018, it's 6,902,000. 2019, 10,541,000. 2020, 6,294,000. 2021, 8,344,000. 2022, 4,917,000. Attractions on the same question, 2018, 3,245,000. 2019, 3,394,000. 2020, 2,046,000. 2021, 248,000. And 2022 is 904,000. Question 4. The other income generated by the facility are already included in the events income generated under question 1. Question 5. 2018, it's 115,436,000. 2019, 154,339,000. 2020, 163,600,000. 2021, 125,650,000. 2022, 124,817,000. And please note that the annual operation cost in the past 5 years includes utility cost, employee-related cost, and stadium operational cost. Question 6, 2018 is 5,900,000. 2019, 7,748,370. 2020, it's 8,121,450. 2021, it's 5,357,640. 2022, 6,484,800. Question 7, the Sky Car projected cost of repair or replacement have not been determined. Question 8, the expected actual cost of maintenance repairs have not been determined as well. Question 9, actual maintenance cost of stadium structural repair have not been yet determined. Question 10, there is no anticipated timeline and cost of sale, repair within 50-year asset lifestyle. And the last answer, the projected 23-24 budgeted revenue is 32.4 million. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Mngadi. We are now on page 8. Questions from Councillor Singh. Let's have the answers, page 8. Page 8. If answers are not ready, we'll come back to page 8. Let's move to page 9 to save time. Once we are ready with 8, we'll come back to you. Page 9.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On the questions on page 9 relating to the protests sponsored by Councillor Mohammed Ismail, would like to request in terms of Rule 2718 for the questions to stand over to the next meeting. The key reason for this request, Honorable Speaker, is that we have not finalized the process of gathering information to formulate proper answers to this council. This is a broad question, Honorable Speaker, requiring the collation of information from various service units and departments. And we do not want the answers to be a tick box exercise, but we want the answers to reflect the truthful state of things. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, we request for this question to stand over to the next meeting.
Thank you very much, Councillor Madlala. Your request is granted so that whatever information is provided to Council is sufficient and does not mislead Council and the people of EThekwini. We hope that by the next Council, those questions or those answers will be fully responded to. Thank you very much, Councillor Madlala. Then let's go back to page 8. Are you ready on page 8 with answers?
Yes, Speaker, thank you so much. I'm responding to page 8, Kuma questions raised by Councillor Singh. Question 1, the investigation was conducted and it was found that the pumps were clogged due to foreign objects entered into the pump station, objects such as amarak, clothes, wood, and etc. Question 2, there were no delays in fixing the pump ex-Nettle pump sewer pump station. The pump was fixed a while back timelessly, and this is currently running perfectly. And we also have a standpipe and juicy pump that are operating efficiently. Question 3, as indicated above, there is no overflow in the pump stations. There are 2 pumps working efficiently. Proactive maintenance has been established through mechanical and electrical active contracts to minimize future potential breakdown to the station. Question 4, with regards to the communication methods that are used, as much as this pump station has been resolved, it is important to highlight that over the past months, the Department of Sanitation Operations has been in constant communication with members of the public through EThekwini Communication Department via different special platforms to keep the public abreast with the progress made to our infrastructure and different sanitation facilities. Over and above that, municipality has community liaison officers that are on the ground in different wards that are on constant communication with members of the public. And we are mindful of the fact that we can do more with regards to communicating with the citizen pertaining to outages. However, it must be noted that we would not then wish to entertain grandstanders that parade themselves around the EThekwini busy highlighting problems when in the past 12 months they were entrusted with the very same task to solve the same problem that they are now complaining about. But see, on our part, we are doing what we can. And then the last question, the answer is that according to our records, there was never a damage to any property, no possibilities to such. However, if any member of the public claims to be in a position of evidence to damage of property or health complications as a result of sewer spillages, members of the public are advised to please visit our customer service building, which are located on number 3 Pearl Road in Durban, and they will be assisted. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, councillors, for your responses. Thank you very much, councillors. I'm going to give you a 20-minute break so that when we come back to receive reports from the executive, we'll move with all the items till the end of our agenda. Let me give you a 20-minute break. It means we'll come back after 20 minutes. Thank you very much, councillors. Let's take a break.
Man.